Oh, all right.
Same day as the last battle report.
Yep.
Not wearing the same shirt. Just let you know.
Eric and Tom, 4Up Gaming. And today we're coming at you guys with a
2300. That's what we're playing
2300
now.
point battle report.
Yeah.
We're
The 2220 is kind of weird. I think that's what we're playing.
It is. We were playing 2220 for a while.
Yeah.
I just can't remember.
I was like 23 is a nice even number. Nice
It's been like
rounded.
a month almost since we played.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're back. We got some more subscribers, which is nice.
Yeah,
Hopefully you guys are spreading the good
Getting close
word.
to 300. Come on, guys.
Get
Get us to 300.
Getting there. That'd be so awesome. You know, you had a little experience not too long ago. You actually went to a 9th Age tournament. Did not play.
No, not the
Didn't
age
play.
I don't get it. It's not supported by anybody. It's not a real game, in my opinion. But it's cool to see other armies.
Yeah. And you're probably looking at it like,
I was like, hey.
oh, that could work in Kings of War.
Yeah.
Oh, that could work in Kings of War. So hopefully what we'll try and do then is get out to, it's Hobby Town up in Thornton, Colorado. Is it Thornton or Westminster? Westminster, Colorado, sorry, for those of you that are in Colorado, my bad.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll try and get up there on Sundays and maybe throw down, maybe kind of get them interested. They'll be like, oh, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Maybe pull some more Kings of War people
yeah.
into the group here, but or people interested at least in Kings of War.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest here,
Spread the word.
Ninth Age and Warhammer Fantasy Battles are very similar. I think they're pretty much the same thing. And Kings of War is obviously pretty close to it as well. So maybe we can pull them over, get some new players. And then
it's
also
supported by somebody. It's not just some random rule set.
Yep, and also Garrett, I have been really bad at emailing you back on Facebook because I'm not big on Facebook. I'm not good at it.
He's much more of a Twitter guy.
I like to tweet about stuff.
TikTok.
Tweet,
if you ever
TikTok. TikTok, some Instagram.
TinyEric.com.
I don't even know what those things are.
He's on the TikToks.
Pretty much, if it's not YouTube, I don't know. But anyway. So Garrett, anyway, we do have a location though for a possible tournament.
Oh yeah.
For a tournament here in Colorado, which would be good for people in Utah, Idaho, Nevada,
Wyoming. Don't forget the Wyoming guys.
Our Wyoming guys.
They're starting to play, so
yeah, starting to get some games in.
Like get a little small tournament.
Get a little tournament going, yeah.
That'd be cool.
Hobby Town up in Westminster is probably going to be a good location.
Yeah, plenty of tables.
Get almost 20 tables if you need them. So almost 20 tables, that's pretty good. Plus we're close to food, we're close to all kinds of stuff. So
there's a bar next door. So
yeah, there literally is a bar. Now it's a bar and grill, so
what more do you want?
They have food.
Right next door, you come out the door and you walk in the other door.
You can walk into the bar, have a couple drinks, and then stumble back out and not, totally get lost. Like you're going to find where you're going.
Whatever you want right there. It's right in the center of town, so.
Yep, I think it's perfect. So Garrett, let me know. Just comment on here because Facebook, like I
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. I gotta
hop on the TikTok.
I gotta figure out how to even do TikTok.
I don't know.
We don't even know.
Like, what's TikTok? And she's like, I don't know either. So nobody knows what TikTok is. If you want to put in the comments what TikTok is,
yes, let us know, please. We are technologically challenged in that way.
I'm almost 40 years old. I do not know what TikTok is. Or have any will to know about TikTok. So
I have no idea either. But let's see here. So we talked about that. What else do we have going on? What army are you gonna play?
I'm gonna play Abyssal Dwarves.
Woo! Abyssal Dwarves.
Yep. Adepticon's coming up, so I want to kind of
start honing things
dialing in on this list.
Fair enough.
So I want to kind of get going on this.
Adepticon's, it's September.
I mean, you know me. I got to get going on this here.
This is true.
We put about this time of the year lately, so it's like I gotta.
About this time of the year, I start hearing the Rocky theme song, "Eye of the Tiger." I start hearing that going on, and that's him getting ready.
I got an orc punching bag. Work the body a little bit.
Getting ready, and so that's Tom.
Yeah.
But yeah, so getting ready for Adepticon, and fair enough. I brought my elves.
Oh, did you? Nice.
So. I know that people wanted elves versus undead, and we'll get that later.
I don't play my armies. I refuse to play his armies.
Oh yeah, no. I'll get Juicy to play. I haven't decided if I'm going to let him play the elves or the undead yet.
I don't let anybody play my army.
But yeah,
so it's just kind of one of those things.
Tom is very much, it's kind of like
don't roll my dice. Don't touch my dice.
Which, you know what? That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Right. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, so I'll have to get Juicy to play one of those. Maybe I don't know if I want to play the undead or the elves though.
Yeah,
I'll have to figure it out. Probably undead.
Yeah. Elves are a little more
finesse.
He just kind of wants to go at you.
Yeah, the undead you can do that. The elves you have to kind of pick and choose when you want to do that. But we have not drawn for scenario yet, so
or done anything.
We haven't done really anything yet. But obviously, you guys are watching this. We'll be setting.
I had a request from the guys in Wyoming that I set up terrain a little more back, and I was looking at it on Epic Dwarf or whatever it is, and it's supposed to be more forward. So I'm going to set terrain exactly like it says on Epic Dwarf, as opposed to just throwing terrain out there like...
A little more back, as in like deployment zones? Or?
Yeah. So we set it back too far, I guess. And he was telling me there's different squares, and I actually looked at the page, and there's actually squares, so it's supposed to be farther up. So it'll be interesting.
Okay.
So just a little request from him, and then I looked at it, and he's correct. So...
Wow. Okay, fair enough.
I just kind of throw terrain out. I'm like, there's terrain.
Wow,
yay!
My thing about terrain is that it's not supposed to benefit or hurt anybody right away. You should be able to look at terrain, and before we put anything down, both people should have pretty much the same exact opportunity.
And we're pretty much, we're just nitpicking over inches, but...
You're not as bad as that. There was a battle report I watched where it was like Kingdoms of Men against somebody,
and they literally
the walls. Yeah, well, but they had the terrain like on the back board, like literally like it was almost off the back of the board. And I'm like, really? And then, of course, that's where he put his cannons. I'm like, come on, dude. Like that, we don't do that. Obviously, that's pretty cheesy. But
we're in the back
fair
field,
enough.
but it's supposed to be more out. So, and there's actually squares on Epic Dwarf or whatever it is, -28 now, where it's supposed to be farther out. So it's just like, we're talking inches, so it's meaningless, but...
Meaningless to some people.
Some people, apparently. So I was like, we're going to play it this way.
Appreciate that. We're going to give that a try. We're going to see how that goes. Well, let's go ahead and let's get started with the game.
Yeah.
Abyssal Dwarves, let's do it.
We've got a winged overmaster right here.
Okay.
Got 3 regiments of Abyssal half-breeds, one with Meat of Madness. We got the little slave driver with loot behind.
Okay.
We got Abyssal overmaster. We got a regiment of half-breeds, horde of decimators with Blessing of the Gods. Got 2 troops of berserkers with Hellfane.
Nice.
Hellfane has the overmaster upgrade.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, you left the middle empty.
Yeah. This is terrain that did it for me.
Yeah, and so that everybody can see the terrain here.
More in the center.
Apparently we were doing the terrain wrong, so yeah, we put the terrain more in the center. But this terrain setup, kind of splits the board because you have the 2 forests right there in the middle.
And he put his archers dead smack center.
Yeah,
Kill lane.
I put my archers right there.
Avoid the kill line over here.
That's a good rule of thumb. You definitely have, some power over here though. Those berserkers. If people underestimate berserkers, they're nasty. They are such a nasty unit.
Vicious, crush 1, 12 attacks apiece. For a little troop, they can do some work.
Yeah, they're nasty. And then you put them with the Hellfane.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's rough. And then in the middle there, well, middle-ish, you still have, I guess I would almost call that like a little gift box, because you can unpack that in many different ways,
that's
right?
The thing I was thinking.
Yeah.
Split off whichever way I want to go.
So guys, this is something to consider when you guys are playing the game, all right? So he does have 3 units that are deployed together.
The 2 are speedy though. So this one can come up behind. This 2 speedy ones can, pick a lane.
Yep.
Whichever way you want to go.
Yep, exactly. And that's pretty important because the unit behind is a horde that has shooting. So that unit can hold an objective or a loot counter, right? Which is obviously what our scenarios are going to be. I guess we should go ahead and place those, huh? Sorry, guys, we're kind of a little bit messed up here, but we're going to place the loot counters. I can already guess where at least one of his loot counters is going to go. It's going to go right back there on one of his units there. You can go ahead, or do I need to place first, or because I roll whatever? It doesn't matter. You guys are going to watch us place our loot counters. 1 and a 4. So you deploy, or you want me to place first? Okay. So we are playing push, guys. So we each have 3 loot counters, and then there's a loot counter in the center, which is right next to the dice right there. And you can place loot counters on units, or you can decide not to. So I'm going to place one on my archer horde right there in the center.
Go with these guys.
Okay. Now, loot counters do slow down movement, not for you because you're already speed 4, but for me, they will slow down my movement. That's why, obviously, having them on archers, I really don't care about. So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and put another loot counter right there on the archers. Uh-oh. No. Well, I'm going to just go ahead and put all Okay. All right. Well, we both did the same thing. He put all 3 of his loot counters on the decimators, and I put all 3 of my loot counters on the archers. But like we were talking about, though, this is a really good tactical little play here. Like Tom was saying, he's got 2 fast units up front. The 2 fast units can split. They can go down different lanes, as you can see.
Go this way, I can go this way, I can go down the center.
Right.
Nevertheless, these guys can keep marching up and
shooting.
Keep shooting.
Can keep shooting, and
it's not like I'm blocking my line of sight. Everybody's like, "Oh man, you're putting shooters behind." Not when these units go wherever they want to go.
Exactly.
Open up the door.
And they're fast. The 2 in front are fast, so you're going to clear them.
Blocking the horde.
Right.
You're going to be tough to get out of the way.
Right.
Fast units.
Right, exactly. And then over on your right flank is just all speed, man.
Super speedy.
All speed over there.
It's actually really fast. Abyssal Dwarf Army running here.
Yeah, it's like super fast.
Alpha Strike. Abyssal Dwarf.
It is super fast. I mean, you've got those pretty much are the slowest units over there on your left flank, and then other than the decimators.
Surprisingly quick.
Yeah, they can be fast because berserkers have wild charge, right?
Wild charge.
And then the Hellfane is
another extra wild charge.
Yeah. So, but he's speed 5, 4,
6.
He's speed 6.
Exactly.
Okay. And then obviously, this flank over here, we've got the dragon.
Yeah.
And we've got all of those decimators there.
Half-breeds.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, half-breeds. My bad. Sorry. Freaking abyssals everywhere. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at the elf deployment. All right, so for the elves, I've got a horde of Palace Guard, and I believe they have Chalice of Wrath. And then I've got a horde of Tall Spears behind them with Brew of Strength. I have a Elven King right there next to him on a horse. And then I have a horde of his noble steed. And then I have
what it's called.
No, it's
that's super lame.
I can't remember what it's called. But I just call him Noble Steed.
Right.
I think that's what they call him in Warhammer, didn't they?
I think so.
Yeah. And then next to them, I've got a horde of Palace Guard with the Chant of Hate. And then in front of them, I have my horde of archers with all 3 of my loot counters.
Oh, yeah.
And they have fire oil, so they have piercing 1 against units with regen. And then I have a nice little archmage right there. She's not fully painted. I'm sorry, guys. She's got Inspiring Talisman, Heal 4, Bane Chant 2, and Lightning Bolt 5. And then the other archmage right there, he has Shroud of the Saint as well as Heal 4, Lightning Bolt 5, Bane Chant 2. A lot of points in those archmages, but I think when you're getting rerolls on Lightning Bolt,
that's nice.
It's freaking awesome. And then right there, I've got a regiment of Glade Stalkers. So they are Pathfinder, and they're all kinds of stuff. So, and they're also scouts. So obviously, before we start, I'll have to get my scout move in. If I decide to move them, we'll see. We'll see how I feel. And then on my right flank, I have a unit of Stormwind Cav. I have my Elven King with Blade of the Beast Slayer and the Shard Blade. And then I have 2 bolt throwers. So pretty much I'm daring him to come over the hill. And with that being said, we will go right into the terrain here. But I guess real quick, I've got my speed on the flanks, and then I don't have speed on that flank necessarily because
I just talked about like my top 5 units.
Uh-huh.
What do I have? Speed across the board.
Yep, speed across the board. Crazy how that works.
About, like how I think of. I mean,
that's fine.
Insight in my mind.
That's fine. I'm pretty much going to be using that building over there. That building is going to be very important. It's going to be helping to block my left flank. You know, if that wasn't there, then this would be a different deployment.
Yeah.
But that building, yeah.
That's how you build deployment.
Yeah, that's you have to.
Ideas in my mind, like, oh, I'm going to do these 2 on this side, these 2 on this side, and then you see the terrain, and you're like, yeah, maybe that's not going to work.
So I'm going to try and hug the terrain as much as possible, deny him flanks if I can, because obviously I want to keep his fast units in front of me. There's a nice forest there with an obstacle. I want to try and get him hindered as much as possible, and hopefully slow you down and grind you out, because you are, yep, and you're a glass hammer.
Yeah.
These units hit so hard, but when it comes to grinding, they're not that great. So that's what I want to do. That's my goal. That's why I'm using and set up that way. And that's why my speed is over here, because this is actually his least speedy other than his decimators, which he's going to bubble wrap because they've got 3 loot counters on it. But other than that, this is the least speedy part of his army. And so that complements well when I put my speed over here. We have a hill in the middle that's a height 3 hill, so I can see him, but I can't see anything else. And I think the Hellfang has regen, right?
No.
Okay. But either way, though, by the time he comes over that hill, I got to make a choice. Do I want to charge? Do I want to keep shooting? Do I want to backpedal?
Oh, yeah.
What do I want to do? But at least this keeps him engaged over here, because I do not want these units over here to turn and go this way. So by putting the speed over here, I'm also keeping him engaged on this side of the board, because he cannot let my units over here go crazy.
Yeah.
Because you cannot let speed get behind, even though you have a lot of speed to counter it with.
I don't want to turn and
Right,
back.
right. You don't have to turn and come back. Right, yeah. Especially,
strike, you want to go.
yeah.
Go in.
Well, and especially with the scenario,
being
what the scenario is.
Push.
So you definitely don't want to do that. But with that being said, let's go into the terrain real quick. We have a height 3 hill.
Yep.
We have a blocking terrain piece here. We have another blocking terrain with an obstacle. We have a forest.
Not height 3, obviously, right?
What is?
The rock.
The rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Height 3 blocking, height 6 blocking.
Yeah, height 6.
Blocking.
Height 6, height 6. All the buildings are going to be height 6, so obviously neither one of our guys can see over it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's what we're going for.
And then that one is obviously going to be shorter than the building, I would guess. Yeah.
Little rock outcrops, not as big as the building.
Right, exactly. Exactly. And then we have 2 forests here. We have a height 2 hill, another obstacle, blocking terrain with the building, and then blocking terrain with the building. So that's kind of what the board looks like going into turn 1. And yeah, push is going to be a little interesting, man. We haven't played push in a while.
Yeah. I don't know, get my decimators over there.
It's gonna be a little interesting. It's gonna be a little interesting. But all right, guys, we're gonna go on to turn 1. Okay, end of turn 1.
Turn 1.
Wow, end of turn 1, and a lot of movement, a lot of posturing.
Turn 1.
Our typical turn 1. I think I might have done a couple of wounds on you, but let's.
A couple wounds on the Hellfang.
That's right. But let's start over here. So you moved 20. You jumped over the building and positioned your dragon to get a nice little. Yeah, to possibly get a nice little flank. So you're using the edge of the building to kind of mask your movement. And if I step out from the edge of that building, obviously I'm going to get flanked, and that's not pretty at all. You then moved up with your Abyssal horsemen? Half-breeds. Thank you. Sorry. Because there are Abyssal horsemen, right? But they're different.
Yeah, different army.
Yeah. Okay, that's the Abyss.
Abyss.
Yeah. So half-breeds moved up. One of them's up on the hill there. Actually, I guess kind of 2 of them. Not that it matters. But anyway, you moved all of them up. And I
I moved up with my guys just to kind of meet, actually just get right there, because I figured you were going to jump over, and that's why I did that. So I was like, all right, I know where he's going. Moved up my units here. Moved up my archers as well as my palace guard in the middle, and then I did try to take some shots at your half-breeds right there. They were behind the hill, so it was a minus for that, plus a minus for moving, and then I ended up rolling double ones. So I didn't hit anything there. Moved the Glade Stalkers up into the forest there, or not into the forest. I'm sorry, they're not quite in the forest yet. Did that on purpose, obviously. You know, trying to
push a little bit.
Trying to push, but trying to still be somewhat conservative. I don't want to get too far into it, because if I had to put them in the forest, that would have been an easy one for you to kill, and I don't want to give you anything easy right now. So. And then over here, I moved up my horsemen. Yeah, and I traded some shots. I shot with my bolt thrower.
I did two. I did two.
Yep, we both did two. I shot your Hellfang. You shot my Stormwind Cav. So that's kind of where we're sitting at right now. You did move up your Berserkers over here to kind of create some interesting little avenues there.
Push the envelope a little bit.
Push the issue, yeah. And then made a nice little move here. I am now in range of your dragon with my Stormwind Cav, so I'm going to either have to move or charge. And since I can't charge anything, I'm going to have to move.
Pull back.
So, yeah,
I'm going
to have to
got
move.
the old
pincer going on. Yeah, so I've got to now, my goal is now I have to start pushing the middle, because you are focusing way too much on this flank.
I got like, what do I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against, honestly, 1. I mean,
yeah, pretty much. I mean, this flank, you are pushing this flank hardcore, so I really have to start pushing the middle.
Objective is going to be a problem for me.
Yeah.
He's got a lot over there.
You've got flyers, though, which can negate it, but yeah. And then I've got my archers,
The archers with the 3 loots.
Yeah, the archers with the 3 loots, which I'm going to just... I honestly feel like I want to just run them down your throat.
Right.
It's so hard to do that, because they're archers, you know?
Definitely a thought,
right?
Sure.
So, kind of planning on what we're going to do there. But yeah, you're definitely pushing the flanks. This one I'm not as worried about, even though these units hit harder than some of these units.
Right, if it wasn't for the forest,
forest, it'd be rough.
It's going to help you.
The forest is going to be nice.
Phalanx or whatever, right?
Yep. I got Phalanx right there in front. That's why I end up jumping them over the Palace Guard. I have to block for the Palace Guard a little bit.
Doing that. That's kind of your thing now, is start behind and then jump over, which is kind of a good play.
It's not bad. Is it always going to work? No. I mean, I'm going to do it. A lot of times what it really is if I fuck up in deployment, that's a way to mask my fuck up of deployment.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the times that's what it is. And what Tom's talking about, guys, is right here. So I have my Palace Guard Horde, and I have my Horde of Tall Spears, all right? So my Palace Guard Horde, I had placed, I can't remember if I placed them first or not, but I placed them up. I think I did place them first, and I had placed them kind of right here. And then once he started placing a bunch of the horsemen over there, I realized that I needed to have a unit with Phalanx. So I placed the Tall Spears in the only place I could, which was right back here. And then, obviously, turn 1, I marched through my own unit. Their speed 6, so marching 12 inches. So I'm able to clear that unit and get in front of the other unit and provide that necessary blocking. So that's what we were talking about just then. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and go on to turn 2 and see what happens here. I really have to start pushing this middle here a little bit more. And this obstacle is actually going to kind of mess me up, because I can't march with my Palace Guard. But I think I might have to wait one more turn and try and get some shots over here. So, but all right, let's go on to turn 2. Yeah, a lot of positioning in turn 2.
You killed something now?
A lot. Yes, I drew first blood, guys. Do this real quick.
Archers in the lightning bolt did it barely. 16 on 16.
Yeah, so I definitely, because you got the reroll, because I rolled boxcars the first time, and then I definitely need the reroll, but I did get first blood. I wiped off the 1 unit of half-breeds, which helps.
Yeah.
I gotta get rid of them.
Because if not, it's charging in.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
You positioned both of your units into the forest. You're gonna be hindered. I'm gonna be hindered. We're all gonna be hindered. It's just the way that it is in this game right here. You position your dragons just to be over right there. So I can't see you. You can definitely see me. And then over here, again, you hopped over. You had to pivot before you jumped with your other dragon because you were way over here. Yeah, so you can only pivot once. So that was your one pivot, so you're facing that direction. And then, let's see, what else? I shot there. I think I tried to shoot at your dude. I put one wound on him, I think.
Got it back, regen.
And you regened it back, yeah. So, so now, like we talked about, having your little gift basket over here, you could go that way, and that's exactly what you did. You have your decimators that are now going to be unpackaged, so to speak, and come forward, and then you have your horsemen over here that are ready to go. And you still kept putting shots on my dudes, did another wound on them, which sucks for me. Yeah, exactly. Which sucks because obviously I don't want you to shoot at them, but c'est la vie. Can't really do anything about that. So at the end of turn 2, that's kind of what we're looking at. I know it doesn't sound like a lot of movement, but it took a lot of very intricate moves. Yeah. Just to kind of, especially with the dragons, because we wanted to get the dragon angles right, especially Tom. He didn't want to put himself out, obviously, where he would get attacked. And then he also had to think about the next play. So obviously at this point, one dragon is out of position, so to speak. So what is he going to do next turn, right?
It's all about next turn for dragons.
Right, exactly.
Next move.
And it's almost that way when it comes to dealing with dragons too, because you're not always thinking, okay, what are they going to hit right now?
Like spin was a good one. I mean, it was good from coming behind because I was like, bam, jump over, and then have because it was a 10. I could have done a 90.
Yep, and just so you guys are aware, it's hard to see, I know, but I actually flipped this unit around, so they are actually facing, my Palace Guard are facing this direction, and that's what Tom is talking about. Because otherwise, he would have been able to jump around, and then I turn, and then he can either jump around again and screw me up for a turn, or whatever he wants to do, or from here, he could have jumped over here, been safe, and then he could have flanked one of these 2 units.
And I could do a double 90, or like a 90, and then I'd be behind you. So
exactly.
Good block.
Exactly. So sometimes you have to just flip the unit around and block.
Right.
And then over, so it's funny because we were talking about this. This side is giving Tom a lot of problems.
It's because it's 2 against 4. Honestly, because he has 4 hordes.
I have 4 hordes over here. Right.
Regiments.
Right.
And I use those dragons to test ability.
Over here is giving me fits because I can't see him except for with my bolt throwers. My bolt throwers are not doing well. And then he keeps pummeling me with shots, although I think we're still at the same shot total. So I have 3 wounds on his Hellfane. He's got 3 wounds on my Stormwind Cap. But here's the deal. If I take out your Hellfane, I still have problems. If you take out my Stormwind, I'm screwed over here. They're the only thing kind of keeping this balance of power over here. And I want them to stay alive just in the off chance that they are going to cause problems for you. I don't want you to have to turn all this and focus it this way because that's not good at all for me.
Take care of this side and start rolling.
Yep, exactly. So now I really have to start being careful with what I do as far as my movement because now his dragons are definitely over and they're pinching this side of the board. So I have to use a lot of caution while I'm moving stuff over here. And over here is just scary. I need my bolt throwers to do well. The first turn they did average-ish. Last turn I only hit with 1, did 1 wound. That is not average for them, especially with 2 bolt throwers, but that's fine.
Yeah.
They can always go the other direction too. And I can put 5 or 6 wounds, man, and done. So, let's go ahead and go into turn 3. All right, so end of turn 3, and stuff looks a little bit different. I got a little trouble on this side at least. I charged in with my horde of Palace Guard and took off your Abyssal Horsemen. Through the forest, they didn't care. They were like, whatever. Through the forest, don't matter. I wavered the other unit, which, okay, I'll take it. That's fine. Whatever. And then over here, I did a respectable 4 wounds, something like that. And you regen all of them back. And when I say over here, I mean my little dude is fighting in the noble cause. But then you returned 5 wounds and wavered him. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do over here. What I should have done, and I didn't do, is I turned. I should have turned my tray so that I could finish off your dragon, but that was my stupidity there. you flipped around this way, so you have just a whole host of options of things you can charge with your dragon, or you can just move it again and do whatever you want to do. So, yeah, you've got quite a bit of stuff to choose from there that's within range. Over here, I was really hoping you were going to move your Abyssal Horsemen up here, or half-breeds, because I was like, ooh, yay.
Oh, man.
And then you moved
no,
them back.
no,
I was like,
no.
damn it. But whatever. It is what it is. So we're going to continue to shoot stuff over here, and you're going to continue to shoot stuff. You shot my bolt thrower and wavered it, so that was good. And
shot coming in.
yeah. And then you shot with decimators. You did a respectable 11 wounds.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. I cannot take another one of those. That's going to be rough. So we'll have to see kind of what happens there. Yeah, I don't know.
It's gonna be close.
It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be
top of 4.
It's gonna be tough. Yeah, we're going into top of 4, man. I feel like we're at like top of 6 already, but there really hasn't been that much gameplay yet, which is surprising, just considering. Dude, it's I got lucky over here, man. That was a good roll.
I thought I was gonna have 1 survival. I was like, one like it. I thought this one.
Yeah, I thought so too. But the tall spears were like 5s. We got 30 attacks.
We got that.
We got crush 1. We got elite. We're good. 10 wounds.
Damn.
Yeah, that was rough. So yeah, let's go into turn 4 and see how this thing shakes out. Again, we have to get our loot counters across the board or partially or whatever it is. So yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for sure. So let's get going on to turn 4. End of turn 4, and you needed that end of turn. That was big for you. So one of the more important ones here is got to be this right here. You put 1 wound on the Stormwind and got the waiver because I was going to come over there and cause some pain. So you definitely did what you had to do there. So now I've got to decide, is it better to do 2 shots or do 1 round of combat with him?
Blade of Beast Slayer?
With Blade of the Beast Slayer. I don't know. We're going to have to see. Like I said, you rear charged the 1 unit, took him out. You're going to shoot the other one, and you did just that. So you took out part of my middle line here. And then you hopped over with your 1 dragon and trying to set up some different angles here. So that's kind of where we are at on this side of the board. I still have 3 hordes over here. So I've got to figure out what to do because now it's going to be the dancing game.
Yep.
So I've got to figure out what I want to do. Top of 5. Yep. We still are both. I'm closer, I guess, technically, because my loot counters are right here. But your loot counters are right there with your decimators. I've got to take your decimators off the freaking board. That's going to be difficult, though, because they're still decimators. I tried to take the Abyssal half-breeds off the board. They're your last Abyssal half-breeds on the board. I tried to take them off. It didn't happen. I think I was off by a couple, and then I rolled crappy nerf. I think I rolled a 1 and a 3 like I've been rolling the whole freaking day.
Yeah, I think it was.
So, yeah. So there we are over there. I definitely need to try and get them off the board as well. Because if I can limit your speed, that's going to help. Because I only have 1 speedy unit, and now you've gutted my shooty units.
Yeah.
So I can't combat your speed with shooting anymore. So now I either need to catch you and get you in combat, to hold you down, get you in combat, or I have to be able to just get rid of your speed.
Yeah.
If I get rid of them, cool, then I still have to deal with your dragons because those are your other fast units I have to worry about. But you have, in essence, negated one of my speedy units, which is not good for me. So we're going to go into turn 5. I hope you guys are watching this. This has been an awesome battle. This has been a really good game. This has been a straight-up chess match. And I'm sure you guys will let us know the mistakes that we've made in the comments. I think we're doing pretty good, too. I'm sure there's stuff that we haven't seen that you guys are probably seeing when you're looking at this on the GoPro. So we're going to go ahead and get into turn 5. All right, end of turn 5. We're going to go to turn 6.
Turn 6.
Oh, my God.
He's got 2
So
minutes left.
I knew, obviously, that you were going to take me out there because it was just going to happen. There was no way around it.
I rolled some pretty good dice, too.
And you rolled amazing dice. You did not miss a single one with your 1 dragon.
Like 19
and
wounds,
yeah, you
like
did more than that.
12.
You did
No, 12 and 7.
12 and
7.
9.
No,
You did 12
I
and
missed.
9.
Was it 9?
You did not miss on your first roll, buddy.
First roll.
So that was nasty. He wiped them off the board. I still have 2 hordes. So obviously one horde's going to go here, one horde's going to go here. And hopefully they can finish the job. As far as what happened over here, guys, make sure you know the ranges of things. I thought that your dude, because I'm so used to fighting steel behemoths where their movement is 4, his movement is 6, and so I was 12 inches out of there with my unit of Stormwind Cav.
8 out, 9 out. I had plenty of range for my 12.
Yeah, for your 12 you did, sure. But I was thinking you were speed 8 or speed 4 still. So I was like, whatever. And then he charged over the hill and took out my Stormwind Cav. So, lesson, make sure you know your ranges. Let's see here. I don't think I took anything out that turn, though.
You did not.
I did some wounds here and there. I had horrible shooting.
Horrible.
Just god-awful shooting. My dice are tired, apparently. But
dice are wore out.
they're wore out. So
Let's
let's go into turn 6 and see what is going to happen here. Currently, he has all of the loot counters, so but we still have another turn to play.
Right.
So we are going to see what is going to happen here. Let's go ahead and go into turn 6.
All right. Good one.
That was a good one.
That was fun.
Hopefully you guys stayed until the end for that one.
Yeah.
It came down to probably about turn 5-ish. Once you took out the Palace Guard, it's just I didn't have enough. What I was going to do with turn 7, if it went there, like we talked about, I was going to slide over the Palace Guard, hit the Decimators, hopefully do enough damage. They already got 8 wounds on them.
Yeah. It would have hurt.
It would have hurt.
Yeah.
I think I could have probably taken them out, and then obviously have 3, and then it would have been a draw.
Yeah.
So the upside is that, but it didn't happen that way. Tom, the only time he rolls ones.
I know, right? Turn 7.
He rolled a 1 for turn 7.
Yeah.
The game stopped there. This game was going super my way.
It was all
and then all of a sudden,
I was like, I'm just getting wrecked.
All of a sudden, the dice were just like, done.
I had to pull it together. I was like, now I gotta focus on this game.
Yep. It was
kicking my ass.
It was
pulling half-breeds like.
I was dropping them, man. I was dropping them.
More half-breeds. What am I gonna do?
I was dropping them, and then what made the difference when you got the Decimators into the game?
Yeah,
that made a difference.
They did work.
And
that's player of the game.
They were
dragons behind him.
Well, and your dragons, man, when you were hitting stuff, I mean, there were a couple turns there where you didn't miss any.
Yeah.
You did not miss any.
He was in trouble. Those dragons got behind him. He didn't know what to do. He was spinning units.
I don't know. I thought I was doing pretty good, actually.
Yeah,
that wasn't the issue. The issue was that I couldn't, because you have 2 dragons still, I couldn't, because I was
just trying to focus on one.
Well, it was that, and I was also worried about the loot counters.
Yeah.
And I had to give you the archers because they had 11 wounds on them.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I'm like, I got nothing. There was very little I could do because you were going to outposition me anyway with 2 dragons. So it is what it is. Sometimes it works out that way. I still think it was a good game.
Oh, great game.
I mean, if a couple things would have went differently,
it would have been way different. First 3 turns, so I was in trouble.
Yeah, way different. I think what would have been different is if I would have had the dude with Blade of the Beast Slayer on the other side of the board, doing some
got the lucky dragons over there.
Yeah. That was bad for me.
And they got charged by the.
Yeah, and that again, I need to pay attention to ranges. That was my bad. I forgot because I always think steel behemoths are speed 4. And forgot the Hellfane speed 6, and that's how you end up losing a unit. So, but ultimately, it was a good game.
Yeah.
I don't really think I would have played too much different. Some positioning a little bit different, but the archers did a great job.
No, they killed that unit of half-breeds right off the bat.
Yep. And
half-breeds they got hosed, man.
Yeah, the half-breeds.
They were having a rough go this game.
They got swallowed. I mean, you have 1 unit left of half-breeds, and they're up to 5 wounds. And I whiffed on towards the end of the game. I was whiffing dice rolls left and right. It was crazy, but man. If only we would have gotten turn 7, maybe I could have pulled a draw out. But, it was a good game though. Good game, good to be back. It's been a little while since we played a game, so
we'll have to get some more in.
Yeah, we got to get some more in. Hopefully not a month at a time.
Right? Yeah, even a month lately. It's like we got to get these in more quickly.
But guys, hopefully you enjoyed the battle report. We're also loading, or gonna hopefully around the same time, maybe a couple weeks later. I don't know how we'll do it. We have a top 5 video that is either going to air before this or after. I haven't figured it out yet.
I'd say before.
Before, you think so?
Yeah.
All right. I'll do that before then.
Taste.
So that way you guys will kind of see that video. hopefully you guys will see that video first. And if you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's good. That's kind of a new thing we're going to start doing, are these top 5 videos,
Yeah,
top
it was
5
fun.
whatever. So it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It was nice, a new way of looking at the armies and the units and everything. So, but other than that, we're going to get out of here. It is dark, and I need to get home. I'm sure we know that. So I'll talk to you guys later, and we'll see you guys next time.
Heck yeah.